Hi there, this is Ryan Blair, and the following is a short list of goals and New Year resolutions, in no particular order, that for most people will never get achieved. Not in 2019, 2020, 2025, or any year for that matter. Now allow me to provide you with a list first, and the reasons why immediately thereafter. The first is getting in great physical shape through a diet and exercise program. Just won't happen for most people. Launching a business or initiative whose aim is to take control of your destiny. The third would be the pursuit of any calling in writing, painting, music, film, dance, or any creative art. Any program of spiritual enlightenment to obtain greater peace of mind. The learning of a new language or hobby so as to expand your horizons. Any course designed to overcome or unwholesome habit or addiction. Education of any kind that will provide greater career options for you. Any act of political, moral, or ethical courage. The decision to change something unhealthy, a pattern of thought or conduct in ourselves. The taking of any principled stand in the face of adversity. Another goal or resolution that will never happen is any act that entails commitment of the heart, time, and money, and last, becoming debt-free and financially secure. So why is it that these goals or New Year's resolutions will get very little traction? How is it even remotely possible that most people will barely make a dent on any of their goals or New Year resolutions? Well, the answer is simple. It's self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is a state of mind which damages your belief in yourself and your abilities to achieve that which you want to achieve. Self-sabotage is the thing that is holding you back from doing what you know you need to be doing. And while it can't be seen, touched, heard, or even smelled, the extraordinary thing about self-sabotage is that it makes its presence felt. It manifests itself in your body and your mind, and it goes to work like an angry jackhammer pounding hard and long. So what does self-sabotage feel like? Well, it begins with sadness, then it proceeds to stress and distress. We feel like an imposter, someone who's unworthy of success, and we begin to act in ways that work to repel our success. Feel unloved and begin to act in self-destructive ways. In effect, we seize failure from the jaws of victory. Self-sabotage is negative energy. It has absolutely no redeeming value. It exists to debilitate, not to liberate talent. And its goal is to take you off course and to keep you there. Self-sabotage is self-generated and self-perpetuated, and is hell-bent on your self-destruction. Self-sabotage does not play to wound, it plays to kill. It places a bullseye on whatever it is you want to be, have, and do, and it aggressively works to kill your hopes, your dreams, and your fondest desires. And to beat self-sabotage, you must be prepared for war, as it understands nothing but brute force, and it will not give in without one hell of a fight. So let's talk about deconstructing self-sabotage. You see, self-sabotage is as dumb as it is forceful. It leaves clues and has a working game plan which can be broken down, picked apart, and overcome. Here's how it works. There are 4 self-defeating elements that disrupt our abilities to fully pursue our goals. Everybody has these characteristics, and the extent to which they result in self-sabotage and interfere with our abilities is only a matter of degree. The first point is negative self-talk. Think about what happens when you begin to even consider working on a new project or a goal. When you simply get the whiff of an idea that lies the slightest bit outside of your comfort zone. As if operating on autopilot, self-sabotage immediately goes to work. It wastes no time in weaseling its way into your head, planting seeds of doubt, uncertainty, and fear. And like a knee-jerk reaction, you immediately begin to focus in on the negative over the positive, on what's bad instead of what's good, on the reasons why you can't rather than why you can. And if you want to win the battle of self-sabotage, the only way is through it. That small voice telling you that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, or unworthy enough for success is a liar, a no-good, rotten scoundrel that must be met and overcome by a strong, a healthy mind, and a powerful will. Your beliefs, your thoughts, and your reactions are the things in which you are in complete control of, which is to say, you're always working from a position of strength. You just must convince yourself of that fact. Point number 2 is avoidance behavior. There are some types of behaviors that tend to increase and empower self-sabotage. And one of the most common of these is procrastination. We all know this malevolent friend which tells us that our extensive list of better things we can choose to do in the moment instead of working on what's most important. Procrastination is a type of avoidance. By making excuses or by doing something else, you are avoiding the priority activity which would lead you to the goal. Avoidance behaviors are the root of most fears and anxieties. And overcoming the gravitational pull of avoidance behavior is not easy, but it can be done, and most importantly, it must be done if you have any intention of making your mark on the world. But be mindful that procrastination, like any form of avoidance behavior, is a choice. And to fully appreciate the value of that statement, you must understand the purpose of making a choice. See, every choice you make, regardless of size, must have a purpose, and that is to advance you north in the direction of your goals. Every choice you make counts. There are no insignificant choices, no neutral actions. Therefore, overrule the voices in your head by choosing to engage in proactive behavior. By doing so, you will overcome the devastating impact of self-sabotage. Point number 3 has to do with focusing issues. Self-sabotage is a devious little monster that loves to impede your focus. It thoroughly enjoys manipulating and distracting you with unnecessary and irrelevant low-level activity. But you cannot afford to give self-sabotage the upper hand, nor can you afford to devalue your talents and reputation by having a focus deficit. Without a long, sustained focus, you place a death sentence on your goals, and you eventually wind up on the endangered species list. That's how this bastard works. Self-sabotage or resistance in any way hates focus for the simple reason that it knows it's losing the fight. Focus is the ultimate power move, as the primary objective of having your focus is to dominate your market, to intimidate weaker competitors, to scare the crap out of fear, and to fast-track your goals. Focus, without a doubt, is the big stick that allows you to give your life and your goals the time, the care, and the attention they deserve. And that brings us to point number 4, which is decreased energy and motivation. Decreased energy and motivation is the result of negative self-talk, avoidance behavior, and focusing issues. They grind on you and they work to wear you down. Here's a good rule to remember, especially as you begin to think of your goals for the new year. While self-sabotage is always lurking nearby, the danger is at the beginning and always near the finish line. At the beginning, the tactics of self-sabotage are little more than the whispering of a few words of doubt. A simple boo is all it takes to get most people to give up on their goals, to throw in the towel, and to surrender to self-doubt. It's sad but true. And when we get near the finish line, when the last 10% is in sight, that's when self-sabotage goes into full assault mode because it knows it's got you on the ropes. When self-sabotage knows you're about to beat it, it hits the panic button. It marshals a few psychological assaults, lobs a few more grenades, it gives you an unexpected and costly obstacle or setback, it launches one last assault, and it slams you with everything it's got. And you must be alert for this counterattack, and you must be wary when you get near the end. You must strengthen your resolve. You must enforce your will over this mother of resistance force. You must grab that brass ring with both hands. You must be mindful that self-sabotage is real. It plays for keeps, and that you cannot underestimate the strength and the intent of this powerful resistance force. Therefore, if you're ever going to find your greatness, if you're ever going to make your mark on the world, you must decide that what you want is bigger and far more important than the resistance force which prevents you from achieving it. Self-sabotage, without a doubt, is an engine of destruction, and it understands nothing but brute force. And to overcome the ugly, unsportsmanlike conduct of self-sabotage, you must deploy a strong and a relentless offense. You must develop an indomitable spirit, an unbreakable will, a relentless resolve to rise above the dirty tricks and the diabolical mind games of self-sabotage. You must choose to put self-sabotage behind you, to stare it in the eye, to walk straight through it, and to advance towards your goals with confidence, with conviction, and with certainty. Now, I'll close with some very good news. See, if resistance and self-sabotage could not be beaten, there would be no Eiffel Tower, there'd be no man on the moon, no Mona Lisa, and certainly no Great Wall of China. Each one of us deals with self-sabotage throughout our lives. And if you choose to, you can beat it at its own game and begin to fast-track all of your goals.